The search for America's best cake decorators is on.
Okay.
The quarter sheet cake that I'll be decorating is a pink leopard print suitcase. With a quarter sheet, the things you can do are endless. And I spent weeks on trying to figure out what I was gonna do. And in the end, I just thought a more structurally sound cake that is kind of together like a suitcase would be the best route for me to go.
The quarter sheet cake that I'm going to make, I think it's gonna take a little bit more time. The 45 minutes is gonna be cutting it tight for me. My idea is to make a chessboard with some chocolate chess figures and just have a sign next to it that says happy birthday and see if I can finish in 45 minutes.
So the quarter sheet cake I'm going to be making is really for a girl that works for me here at the bakery who is 50 years old, and she decided that she's going to have a cruise with her girlfriends, and I wanted to go. And my wife said, no, you can't go on this cruise. And so I made a cake in the shape of a boat because I wanted to go on the cruise.
For the quarter sheet cake, I'm going to keep in theme with the circus, and I'm going to do a big top. I'm going to carve the quarter sheet cake into the big top and throw in a few circus animals, maybe a clown, and of course the banner that goes on top. I'm going to add the top, and when I do that, I'm going to add the second layer, what I cut off of the sides when I carved it. I'm going to actually flip those over to the top and make it more of a 3D element. It'll just give it a little more dimension, a little more flow. Something besides just a plain flat cake.
Measuring those squares from the chessboard, that's very important because you don't want to have one smaller than the other one. Then it's not going to line up on a chessboard and it'll be very easy to see. It's a little bit soft here too. Yeah, no good. I gotta do this again. It's too soft. If they stick to the table and you try to pull it off like that, they change shape. And then you have the same thing. They're not going to be a square anymore, and they're not going to fit together anymore. So might as well start over again and roll out new dough, put more powdered sugar, make sure the table is dry and they don't stick to it.
I'm a little bit behind. I'm hoping that I have enough time to get all the little pieces onto the cake that I want to get on. I really don't want to have to leave something out because everything is on the cake for a reason, and I really hope that if I work fast enough, I'll be able to get everything on it.
I decided to stick with the theme all the way through for all the challenges. I like to have a cohesive design, and I think when they all match that it just kind of flows together good. I've got the circus theme going on with every one of my challenges. Circus is a fun theme, and there's so much you can do with it.
The elements on this cake are mainly going to be in buttercream. I'm going to have some elements that are going to be in fondant. Our buttercream is so special that we had somebody, I can't even say who it is, but she asked us for our formula for buttercream. I had to decline to give it to her.
I took fondant and rolled it out a little bit thicker than I would for a cake, but put it on a table, and then a texture with a rolling pin to give it a wood grain look. Now I'm going to show you a trick. We use this cutting board, which is measured 9 by 9, and it's not going to be part of the cake. I'm going to take it back out. The idea is to take a brush, put some food color in it, mix together some red, brown, and brush it on the fondant to give it a antique wood look finish.
Color is extremely important. I love color. Everything just looks so happy when it's got color on it. You can't just be basic. You know, anybody can throw together just a plain sheet cake, but when you go the extra mile to kind of give it some flow and a little bit of dimension, I think that's really what sets you apart from everybody else.
I feel like I'm doing pretty good on time. The stitching on the cake is one of my favorite parts of it. It really gives it depth to the cake, and it makes it look like it's an actual piece of luggage. Someone could look at this and honestly say, hey, look, it has all the little intricate details that really go into a piece of luggage.
We're going to start putting our stuff on and doing the decorations. I'm putting the name on the side, trying to give it the finished look. The name on here is the USS Nancy. Well, Nancy works for me. She's worked for me for many years, off and on, and she's kind of part of my family. It's just a playful joke. You know, I really wanted to go on this cruise with my wife, and I was told I couldn't go, and I'm upset about it, all right? I'm upset.
The other thing I want to do is take some extra fondant, put it along the side, give it the same antique look, wash it on there, and then take a handle shaped out of modeling paste and just painted it a little gold and stuck it on there. Maybe poked a hole in it, stuck it on there. I made a little tag, if you will, and wrote on there a happy birthday message, standing it up with chocolate put together. It's all edible, and just laid it down there with some chess figures next to it.
I decided to add some characters just to give that extra touch. I've got a few minutes left, so I think that's really going to add something special to it. Originally, I had the flag placed down on the board so that it was just flat against the board, but now I'm going to pick it up so you can see it a little bit more, and that just gives it a little bit more dimension.
So I have some extra time, and I'm going to add the smokestack. I was just kind of on the fly there and just trying to make it look as much like a cruise ship as possible. And you know, quarter sheet's kind of difficult to make it look like a ship. So I was just adding something to kind of give it a little bit more height and look to it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start to do my leopard print. If I can get some on there, it's better than a plain cake. And I'm pretty quick with it. The finishing accents to my leopard print cake was basically the hand-painted leopard spots. What I did was just diluted some brown with vodka, and I hand-painted those, and then I went over that with a black gel food coloring, and I didn't dilute that, we just kind of tapped the spots on there. Having not so much time is actually giving me a better look, because I'm kind of rushing, and it's making it look a lot like it should. Done.
It was cutting it close, you know, it was a lot of steps to do, and then there was some mishaps. I'm very happy the way it came out, and can't say too much about it. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, to have a time limit on it. 45 minutes doing something like that was a little bit close for me. Nevertheless, it was within the limit.
I like it. That one wasn't as bad. The only thing I would have done differently about the quarter sheet cake is I would have measured my top layer of fondant that I put on. I kind of just had to freehand it. I was running out of time, so I kind of just used the ruler to try to make the straight edges on the top of the luggage. But in some spots you can tell they kind of go down at an angle, and it kind of comes back up to be together. But I definitely would have taken my time to measure.
I think it turned out okay. I would have liked it to be a little bit bigger. I'd liked it to be a little bit not so square. Maybe add a little bit more elements to it, but it is what it is. I'm pretty happy with it.
I think decorating the board is extremely important. The board is part of the cake, in my opinion. You know, anybody can put just a cake on a plain white board, but I love to have the boards colored. I love to make it part of the design. That's just extra decorating space. I don't think I would have done anything different with the quarter sheet. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it really turned out great.